A lot of people talk about skill assessment on a daily basis. Should I get 5 skill assessments as an IT professional? Should I do all the skill assessments that I could possibly do? Now, in this episode, I'm going to explain more on what kind of skill assessment you should do and what are the useless ones. Without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Johnny. I'm a migration lawyer in Sydney and I post daily content on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube Shorts. And now also have my YouTube channel set obviously, and I help migrants like you to get PR faster in Australia. Now, a lot of people talked about skill assessments, and it seems that the more skill assessment, the higher the chance you will get, but in reality, it's probably not. Now, if you are in Australia, it is important that you select the right skill assessment. I see a lot of people doing skill assessments that are absolutely useless. Now, for example, if you're onshore in Australia, you need to go through your state's skilled occupation list. Every state have their own list, except, Victoria, they take everyone, and then Queensland, they sort of take the priority industries. But most states, they have their own occupation list. So you make sure that you double check what kind of occupations are actually available to be sponsored on the 190 or 491 visa in your state. I've seen so many people who apply for a skill assessment only to realize that their skill assessment cannot allow them to participate in this skilled nomination program in their own state. For example, cafe or restaurant manager in New South Wales. That is just nonsense, isn't it? So before you carry out and go away and do your skill assessment, make sure you double check to see whether or not you actually need one. Also, the other things you need to be aware of is that most states they only invite people, or they prefer inviting people with work experience in the nominated occupation. So say if you completed a Bachelor of Accounting but you're working as a personal care assistant, you are obviously not working in the nominated occupation as an accountant, auditor, or finance manager, etc. Stuff that you can do after you complete a bachelor degree. Now, it is highly unlikely that the state would go through the trouble of actually sponsoring you on the general skill migration visa, the 190 and 491, if you have no relevant work experience onshore. So that's also one of the things that you need to be mindful of. Most of the time, if you're working one job, it is unlikely or you'll be able to claim points for all of this skill assessment. Now, scenario 3 was that I've actually come across with a person with an IT degree. She has 5 skill assessments. 5 of them. All of them are IT. However, she's working as an IT support person, and then she have skill assessment as a security, the cybersecurity specialist, and then all the good ones. But she has no experience in it, and then she's not 85 points. So she definitely rely on this skill occupation list onshore in order to potentially get her PR faster. Now, eventually, what we did was we looked into all 5 of the skill assessment only to realize that she couldn't claim work experience in most of them. So we assist her to talk to the employer and then transit to another role so that would allow her to start claiming points in the occupations that will actually lead to permanent residency. So most of the time, like what I've said many times on Instagrams, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok, is that you only need 1 or 2 skill assessment, and then you work so hard in it, you work in a nominated occupation, you do everything right, then you'll be able to get permanent residency through there. And most of the time, if you have a skill assessment in the medium to long-term list and you're actually working in the medium long-term list occupation, and that occupation is available for 190 and 491, most of the time it's just a matter of time for you to actually get PR, because either you get invited through the 190 and 491 program, or you have ridiculously high points, so you get invited through the 189 program, or alternatively, most of the medium to long-term list occupations, they are in significant demand, so maybe your employer would actually sponsor you on a skills in demand visa, or to make things better, maybe a direct entry 186. So this is the end of this episode, and in my next episode or in my next video, I'm going to explain and break it down step by step on what kind of occupations that you need a skill assessment, what kind of passport do you need a skill assessment, and if you need to get a skill assessment, what are the exemptions, and what's the right thing to do, what's the wrong thing to do. If you get to this far, make sure you hit this subscribe button and like, share, and if you have questions, put it in the comment section below so my team can respond to you. And like always, follow me to get PR faster.